Hello everyone, this is Defense Politics Asia and this is the Frontline Changes report for the past 24 hours for the day of 1287 for the 2nd of Sep. There is no Ukrainian progress or advances in the past 24 hours, and this basically is what I have highlighted yesterday's Frontline Changes report. I was saying that the Ukrainians' capture is dwindling since there are these recent counter-offensive operations across the Ukraine war is dropping. So now we go to zero. We're not sure if we will have more Ukrainian success in the next 24 or 48 hours, but I'm just saying that based on what we are seeing now, is now zero. The Russians continue to make progress, and they are making progress here and there. The first frontline change is over here in Dvorichna front. So this is Dvorichna. This is Komar. At the Komar region, the Ukrainian mapping, Deep State UA have updated the map to show that the Russian forces have a much more advanced position than previously understood in the southwest of Dvorichna, and also in the north and east of Komar. So these are all the advance in this sector here. The advance is around 1.5 kilometer, I would say, on average. And this piece is pretty big. It's 8.34 square kilometers. As the Russians are going to straighten the front line along this sector to push against Pokrovsk and Dvorichna. So that is the advance in this area here. Komar is not entirely fully secured, by the way. There is still some of these suburbs. The main city area is captured, but the suburb area, you can see this very messy place. Is still not fully secured as per our mapping. The next frontline change is over in Pokrovsk, over in the Kupyansk front. So this is a very interesting frontline change. So we have geolocation of the Russian forces in the junction, the critical junction at Pokrovsk, and so if I'm not wrong, the Russians do a new geolocation dated 1st of September to highlight that the Ukrainians are not at Pokrovsk, and that all these recent geolocations of Ukrainian forces that was here and here was all belated. Is all actually belated posting of earlier videos. They claim that the videos the Ukrainians have put up is actually 2 months old, and they deliberately do this new geolocation to show that the Russians are actually still there in full control of Pokrovsk. But of course, the Russians could be also the one that actually take up old footages and put up and say this is a new footage. Who knows? So, but it is a geolocation. It comes after the Ukrainian map geolocation, which was just here. This was just yesterday's frontline change. So we will just cancel out the Ukrainians capture, at least for this part. And so that's how we work. We work as per the information that comes out. If the two sides want to continue to play this geolocation game, I'm happy to continue to do frontline changes for them. So so that's all. Very tiny change. This is like 300 meters. So let's see how this continue to develop. After Pokrovsk, the next frontline change, we go to Pokrovsk. So Pokrovsk, this is over in the Pokrovsk front. This is Pokrovsk. This is the Evil Rabbit, and then over at the back of the Evil Rabbit, there is the geolocation of Russian forces in the center of Pokrovsk. And they raise the flag looking very relaxed, which means that this entire sector here should be all secured by the Russian forces, which is why the impossible salient has been impossible. So it has been totally closed up, and the Ukrainian forces at most will have the top in the forest region here, but still on the verge of possible pincer in the north. So the advance in this sector here could potentially be 2 kilometers. So let's see how this continue to develop. So this, you can see this is rather impossible, right? You can just visualize how your Ukrainian soldiers have to go all the way here and plant themselves in this frontline position. Yeah, rather suicidal. So I don't think this is even too much of a debate. I think the Ukrainians is not even at. I think the Russians have already secured all the way here. The Ukrainian line is actually here. Yeah, all of these areas should be all under Russian control. So just yeah, I mean, this is just logical, right? Unless the Ukrainian commanders are crazy people and they send people to die on one-way suicide missions. But I'm quite sure the Ukrainian soldiers are not so stupid and the Ukrainian commanders are not so evil, right? Yeah, Slava Ukraini, right? So the next frontline change is over at Dvorichna. Oh, by the way, if you feel like I'm trolling, that means you are either brainwashed or or you are very pro-Russia. No, I'm just saying, like, I have faith in the Ukrainian military, and I'm not being sarcastic. I'm just being humanistic. I'm quite sure a lot of emotional damage. I can smell it, like emotional damage, and like that, it's very funny. I just want to go off track a bit. I cannot say anything that is like even slightly like as if I'm siding Ukraine, because people especially on Twitter label me as pro-Russia despite I'm not, and that is, which is very funny. I just repeat what the pro-Ukrainian people says and they think that I'm trolling them. Then somehow the pro-Ukrainians say those things are not trolling Ukraine. It's bizarre, I'm just copy and paste the same thing. It's super weird. Like, if I write Ukraine is winning, if a pro-Ukrainian guy write that, everybody will believe it. Or they will like cheer and pump their chest, thump their chest. But if I say it, they will think that I'm a Russian troll. That's why I say brainwash. So the next frontline change is over in Dvorichna, over in the Komar front. This is a very tiny one. It's basically the Ukrainian mapping invalidating some of their claims, saying that the Russian forces actually have this forest line around here. Okay, so yeah, okay. So then and there's one last frontline change is over at Melievka. So this piece here is basically also Ukrainian mapping, I believe. Yeah, they also invalidated themselves. They disclaimed this area here, saying that this chunk of forest north of Melievka is under Russian control. Similarly, okay, so that's all. Nothing much to really talk about, and that's it. So this is the frontline changes. And now, so we're going to do some simple calculation. I don't have much to count, I think. The Ukrainians have 0, so there's nothing to count for the Ukrainians. The Russians captured 8.34 plus 0.11 plus 3.41 plus 0.84. So total area captured by the Russian forces is 12.71. So let me put in 12.7, sorry, 12.7, no 1, 12.7 square kilometers. This is only a 10 square kilometers range. So maybe the Ukrainian counteroffensive is putting a dent to the Russian progress of the 20 square kilometers range, maybe. Or maybe the Russians are just lifting their foot from the pedal. That is also possible. But anyway, let's see how this continue to develop. Anyway, thank you for watching. Happy birthday to you. If your birthday today, press the like button, subscribe. As you can probably see in the previous videos, viewership, 100,000 subs doesn't mean anything other than I got my ta-da! I got my silver plug. It's here. I basically just have to cover my address, but I haven't opened it yet. So but as you can see, it doesn't affect the viewership. the market segment, the market size is the same. My competitions are the same. So unless all my biggest competitors all retire, yeah, I think the viewership is going to continue to be suppressed, and the algorithm doesn't help. So anyway, that's it. Thank you for watching. Press the like button, subscribe. See you guys in the next update.